The player Arsenal should fear the most, I would say, is probably Gylfi Sigurdsson. Seems to be hitting some form again at the moment. He's had a really poor start to the season, but he was really back to his best on Saturday. Scored a beautiful free kick. I'd probably say Gylfi Sigurdsson. I just fancy him now to kick on. He looked really up for Saturday. So yeah, fear Gylfi Sigurdsson, Arsenal.
Definitely the Arsenal player that Swansea are going to have to fear the most is Alexis Sanchez. This guy, he's on fire. He scores goals. He's everywhere around the pitch. He is the leader of Arsenal, and I think he's the type of player that's going to cause that Swansea defence lots and lots of problems.
Garry Monk is good enough to manage Arsenal, definitely. I do still think in a few, well, not a few years, further down the line, I genuinely believe he could be England manager. He is that good. He's that sort of, I don't know, he just seems to have every base covered all the time. It was like there was an article in The Guardian recently and they were describing his sort of training regime and his use of technology, and it sounded like the Ivan Drago stuff. When you see Rocky IV, it was like that. So yeah, I really think he could manage Arsenal. I don't think he will. I think he'll be at Swansea for a long time yet.
Garry Monk's, he's a good manager. He's a good young manager. I like the progress that he's made under Swansea. I like the style of football he plays, and hence I think that's why there's been that link. But he's nowhere near being good enough yet to manage Arsenal. I mean, he's even recently, up until last week when they got that victory, he's been going through quite a sticky patch. And managing Arsenal is different to managing Swansea. You can't go, say, 4 or 5 games, you know, where you haven't won a game. You know, you could be out of a job. I mean, Wenger loses 2 games, he's already under pressure. So I don't think he's ready yet, but I like him as a manager. I think he's got a couple of years at least to go, and he's got to win something major before he can be considered as an Arsenal manager.
Ashley Williams is definitely a better defender than Laurent Koscielny. Ashley Williams at the moment is in the form of his life as well. He's the captain of Wales. He's just taken us to our first ever major tournament, which is, you know, I never thought that would happen. I just got to the stage where I'd written off Wales, and he's just a phenomenal captain for Swansea. He blocks everything. He's a good passer. He's incredible, and he seems to be getting better with age as well. So long may that continue.
Statistically, you only got to look at the stats. Koscielny at the moment is the best defender in the Premier League, and he's a much better defender than Ashley Williams. I like Ashley Williams. He's done well for Wales. He's done very well for Swansea. But again, as I said, when you're in the defence of a club that's not under the radar as much, you can get away with little bit of mistakes that doesn't get highlighted as much. Koscielny, to me, is on another level. He's a solid defender. Against Bayern Munich, he was absolutely unbelievable. And that's what I'm saying. The level that he's playing at is higher. Plays for France, plays in the Champions League, plays for Arsenal week in, week out under intense pressure. Williams, great player, great leader. But for me, Koscielny is the best defender in the Premier League.
Swansea v Cardiff is, I think you've got your Rangers Celtic, which is a bit tasty, but then it's got to be Swansea Cardiff. I think the fact they rival cities, different sides of Wales. You know, I know I've never been to an Arsenal Tottenham game, but I've seen them on TV. I know there's a bit of atmosphere, but nothing beats Swansea Cardiff. It is pure hatred. You know, you have the bubble match. You can't, if you want to go to a Cardiff game as a Swansea fan, you have to get on a bus. You have a police escort into Cardiff. It's nothing like it. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a ridiculous question. I mean, I heard that the Swansea-Cardiff one can be a bit hairy. I remember saying jokingly to a Cardiff fan, you know, that I was a Swansea fan, and he was a bit upset about that. But it's not on the level of Arsenal versus Spurs. I mean, that is so intense. I mean, you take your life in your hands even when you're going from Arsenal to go down to Tottenham, when you that long gauntlet you've got to walk down Seven Sisters Road. I think, just like with Koscielny and Ashley Williams, this derby is on another level to Cardiff-Swansea. Not belittling Cardiff-Swansea, by the way, because I have heard that that is a seriously intense derby, but I've got to go for the North London derby. It's a legendary derby.
After, I think the score's going to be 2-1 Swansea. We did the double over Arsenal last year. Buffy Gomez scored the winner twice. He's not scored in 7 or 8 games, maybe. I think Buffy Gomez is going to come back and haunt Arsenal. So I go 2-1, Sigurdsson and Gomez, the same as the home game last year. Maybe Arsenal take the lead again. That'd be quite funny because that's what they did last year.
I think it's going to be a very tight game. Swansea have got an excellent record against Arsenal at home. Last year they turned us over twice. Somehow I don't think it's going to be the same this year. It's going to be a different type of Arsenal they're going to play. We've got players like Alexis Sanchez who's on form, Mesut Ozil's flying in the midfield, and the players are rested. None of those players featured in that defeat to Sheffield Wednesday. So I think that we're going to be flying out of the blocks. I am a bit upset that obviously the injury to Theo Walcott kind of knocked us back a bit. Means that I'm a bit concerned about that right-hand side, who's going to play there. But with the firepower that we've got at the moment, with Alexis Sanchez in there, with Mesut Ozil firing, with the defence being solid and Petr Cech being behind them, I get the feeling that this is going to be the game where we turn Swansea over. I'm going Arsenal 2, Swansea 1. Let's first of all run through the results of last week. Bottom with 59.1 points, Redmen TV. No surprise there, really. They're poor. What are they smoking over there? I mean,